Yay. Okay, we're here. Hello, hello, hello. I don't want to keep doing that. Let's see if you can come closer to me. Okay, so I have a couple topics to discuss this evening. I want to apologize for rescheduling yoga. It will be tomorrow at 10 a.m. And then I'll tell you about the other thing in a second. So I got notes. We are here. Thank you so much to everyone that has been really cool and supportive with some stuff that's been going on lately. It's a little bit tricky. Trauma responses are a thing. So when I feel threatened, yeah, I'm working on it. I mean, we're all works in progress, right? But there is definitely como se dice in English, there's definitely like a sort of like a panic attack situation that I experienced yesterday due to some events that occurred or have been occurring over the last week. So, first in order, I hope you guys are all amazing. Thank you, Rygod. Aw. Happy, I almost said happy being well. Since you changed your name, and we won't say why, I'm always like, happy being well. Happy vibes. Kiwi, 68. We'll just say A game strong, right? So the first one I wanted to discuss with you, the first topic of conversation is resilience. Resilience is a very important, please excuse me, I had a cold last week. So I still have a little bit of a cough. Resilience is one of the most important, what's the word I'm looking for? I was just reading about resilience, like refresh my mind. One of the most important things we can build or work on, muscles, if you will. Resilience is kind of like a muscle. So my main reason for being here right now is so that if anyone at any time feels, and I've been doing this for a bit, if anyone at any time feels threatened or feels afraid or feels what's the word, intimidated, maybe I won't use that word, keep going, keep speaking, don't be scared. I've been doing this for a long time, guys. A lot of you guys don't know this. Welcome to a lot of new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to this channel. But I mean, Winston Churchill is an interesting figure, right? But he would say, I think one of his more famous quotes, if you're going through hell, keep going. So yesterday I kind of wanted to, so I have different responses to different things, right? We all do, right? But I want to stand here and be tall and be like, what's the word I'm looking for? Strong. No matter what you're going through, and especially if someone else is threatening you or pushing you around, please know that, especially when you're telling the truth, you have a First Amendment right to free speech. So that's a thing. I studied the First Amendment a lot today. So the First Amendment, hold on, I have some stuff to read to you guys. The First Amendment is not something, I mean, I'm familiar with it, obviously, but as it applies to someone threatening you, and I'll just keep it to this. I'll keep it to what my sister did in 2013. I'll just say my sister, right? Right. Okay, so the First Amendment, I was very happy to understand today because I've never really had to look into it intensely since, like, I don't know, I studied it in college and high school and stuff. It's very solid in the United States. You're protected. Your speech is very protected in the United States, especially if you're telling the truth, and especially if someone comes at you first. The First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution protects several fundamental rights, including freedom of religion, speech, press, assembly, and the right to petition the government. So it's a big statement, right? But in terms of someone trying to silence you, specifically when you're telling the truth, obviously do whatever you want. I'm not giving you advice. I'm just standing here to say that I felt terrified of someone yesterday who was threatening to silence me. And after understanding a little bit more about my rights, I'm going to speak louder. That's my choice. Everyone's situation is going to be very different, right? Um, hey guys. Wait, US freedom of speech is two-tiered? What do you mean? I didn't learn about the second tier today. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Um, hey Frank. Ashley, do you post a start time? So I do need to get a regular schedule for shows. This is true. Um, my work schedule has been kind of funky, and like I said, I was sick last week, but it's been a while. I've been saying that I need to get a regular schedule for shows for 2 years or something like this. If you guys have suggestions, let me know. I will put them in the notes. There is something that's cool on YouTube that you can do. Do you guys remember these pens? Like every single color. To answer your question, I try to get Frank. To answer your question, I try to post lives. Just so you guys know, my sister, whose name I will not mention, um, about a week and a half ago, when Danielle was still here, my friend Danielle was here from England, and when she came, I posted. That's what. So a week and a half ago, yeah. Um, my sister and I started to exchange messages again. Um, Gosh, I feel so funny speaking, but I'm just going to speak. So I was like, I'm going to do a live and I'm going to talk about this. And that was Saturday, not this past Saturday, the Saturday before. Because I was sick last week. Thank you. The 16th ish, whatever Saturday was right before the 16th ish, because Danielle went back to England on the 16th. Oh, I know exactly what day it was, actually. It was the day that my mom went to heaven. It was December 13th. So I scheduled a live and I legitimately got sick. Like, got sick, okay? Um, and I kind of forgot about the live, quite frankly. I get a text message from my sister. The live was scheduled for 4:20. Um, I get a text message from my sister at like 7:30 p.m. with the link to my live. I did tag her in it. The link to my live, and she writes, "Oh, I get it. You have a Venmo attached, so you're just making money off my name." Like, hey, wit. Oh, I mean, sis, how about just pay me the money you owe me and you could use the Venmo for that? Also, like, does it even cross? No, it doesn't cross her mind that someone would get sick or something would come up. Ba, 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 ba. So, by the way, if I do lives in the future, and she's probably watching or will watch this, so whatever. If it says if it says my sister's name, I probably am not going to show up just because I think it's funny that she waited so long for my live stream and she thinks that I'm getting millions of dollars from Venmo or something from her name. Um, let's see. At least you didn't force the show. Thanks for that. Hey Constantine, how are you? Um, I've never heard you ask for money, to be honest. Yep. I mean, I have the thing with money with me is yeah, and Constantine has been here for a long time. The thing with money with me is if somebody tells me they're going to pay me a certain amount of money, I expect that. And I think that's really normal. If I told somebody that I was going to pay them a certain amount of money, literally, guys, I'm just wired like different people. I don't know. How about you? How about you? Um, I'm not nervous. I just feel like I have to watch my mouth. but I should probably have been doing that for a very, very long time. Um, like for example, if I tell like my neighbor, I'm gonna drop this off to you. I'm gonna drop something by your house. It literally until I drop it off at their house, it will bother me. Not bother me, but I won't forget it. I don't watch you because of your sis. I don't watch you because of your sis. I find you to be funny. I don't watch you because of your sis. I find you to be funny. I think I'm hilarious. I crack myself up all the time. Um, it will bother me until it's done, right? Because my word has had to be my bond. I'm built that way as well. But you guys will understand more when I can say more. But my word has had to be my bond. Okay. Um, I don't know what that means, love. Um, yeah, because I'm sure she would. Yeah, so I'm not gonna specifically reread certain things. I hope you can understand. Thank you. Okay, so resilience. No matter what, keep going. I am really looking forward to telling you guys everything. Like there are people that I take advice from, and I've gotten a lot of advice. Like, Ashley, we need to understand this in a linear way. Like, which goes back to 2011, which I'm happy to do because I've had to do it with certain people for certain reasons. Uh, it's not super fun for me, but I went through it. So speaking about it is maybe one of the reasons that I'm here, to convey strength and to share that no matter what is going on or no matter how like scary something might feel or seem, stay with your instincts, stay with your gut, and most importantly, stay with the truth. Um, I hope that makes sense. Frankfurt, I am bad with words. I was trying to say I watch you because of you and nothing else. Oh, that's so sweet. Thanks. I would watch you too, probably. You seem like a really cool person. I feel like you're a woman, but I'm not sure. Either way, also happy holidays, guys. I hope you guys have really fun plans to do things for Christmas Eve and for Christmas. You should definitely join Dave, Sarah, and I tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, we got this free speech. Oh, resilience, I feel like is something we have to keep talking about. I don't remember exactly where it was that I read this, but it's one of the most important tools for survival. And I really do think of resiliency as a muscle, right? It's something that we have to work on because resiliency is built when something doesn't go right or something feels uncomfortable. And we have to navigate it. We have to get through it. And that in that way, that's why I see it like as a muscle. In that way, we become more resilient. Does that make sense? Um, Ashley, it's Christmas Eve where I am. It's so funny. So it's so weird not to say your name. It's like on top of like feeling like I don't feel like my throat chakra feels fine, but I'm just like being careful about what I say. And mostly I just wanted to show up and be here because I said I would, and I felt bad about not being here a couple of times. Um, A game strong. Haha, Ashley, it's Christmas Eve where I am. So we always have fun with this. What, like 6 years now we have fun with this? Uh, A Game Strong lives in a country called New Zealand, and the time is always ridiculous to me. Like it's Christmas Eve right now where you are. In New Zealand. How does that even make sense? Because the Middle East is like almost 24 hours ahead. I don't know. How does that make sense? Merry Christmas Eve. We'll say that. Um very fun. I hope you're having a nice time and all of the family is there and everything is happy. Let's see. Oh, to finish my train of thought. There are times that you'll go through, hopefully not, quite frankly, but you'll go through and they feel really tough and you'll want to give up. And there are also people that can be very manipulative and very convincing. And then on top of that, you can be a person that has a really big ass heart and you want to believe in people, you want to believe in stuff. And people will let us down. Oh, resiliency. Sorry, I'm a little all over the place. Resiliency is a muscle that we have to build. It's very important. And it's basically getting up when you fall down. That's another part of resiliency. When you get kicked down, getting back up, continuing to get back up. I think that's an important part of building resiliency. But I'll never forget, this just popped into my head to finish up the resiliency stuff. But this is something I don't want to stop talking about. My little cousin, who I love, she's like one of the only people in my family that I speak to. I love her so much, little Shannon. She called me, I'm gonna say like a year, 2 years ago, and she was going through a tough time. And she, like, I just felt so honored because I'm like, there's so many, like, I'm definitely the black sheep, the scapegoat, whatever you want to call it in my family. But she's like, Ashley, I need resiliency. I need you to teach me resiliency right now. And I'm like, I love you. Everything okay? It's 8 a.m., by the way. You know, it's kind of funny. But I was honored. And it's just being strong. I'm too strong sometimes. Y'all know I can get scrappy, but I think one day you'll understand why. Um, and it's tough because when you go through stuff that other people orchestrate that make your life difficult or literally change the trajectory of your life, um, like things that my sister's done, it's really difficult to understand, if that makes sense. Like, especially if you're not that kind of person, trying to understand the way people move in this world, a lot of the way people, a lot of the things people do don't make a lot of sense to me. A lot of the maniacal kind of meditative, like orchestrated situations where other people suffer or they're uncomfortable, it doesn't make sense to me. My brain does not work like this. So you go through different sorts of, oh, this is important. You go through different sorts of levels, like acceptance. I think it's like, well, I wanted to get to this too. Acceptance for me, I just kind of felt like I was a bad person. It was my fault. Like it had to be my fault. Which is also like a form of not being nice to someone. Is a word that's a synonym, starts with an A. I don't know if I'm allowed. I don't know YouTube terms of services. I cannot keep up, quite frankly. But so when you're in a situation with someone who is taking advantage of you or is doing something that is not nice to you, it takes a while to kind of figure out what's going on. That's why instincts and staying with your gut is so important. One reason. Another reason is that if you stop listening to your gut and you stop following your instincts, you literally they like get quiet. You have a beautiful soul, Ashley. Thank you. I feel like if you see something in another person, it exists in you. So I feel like you probably have a very beautiful soul as well. There's the stages of loss. It's what's her name? Kubler-Ross, something Kubler-Ross. So there's grief. You guys can look it up. There's grief. There's acceptance. There's anger. There's denial. I know I'm missing one, but you kind of go through these things with different kinds of losses. So obviously, I won't wish ill on anyone. My sister's still very much alive. I hope she lives a very happy life and gets help and all those things. But I've made a decision to let go of her. So there's this like stage of loss, like or the stages of grief. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. correct. So there's like stages of grief, and somebody wrote me today something really. A lot of y'all have written me a lot of things that I appreciate from the bottom of my heart. You have no idea. There's not really words for the gratitude that I have. So somebody that I know and knows the situation was like, Ashley, I want to tell you something that I think might be really helpful. And I'm like, what's up? She's like, she has and a lot of you guys too have similar either toxic family systems or excuse me, people that you're related to that are, and it's really hard to explain. People are like, why don't you just make up with your sister? It's like, doesn't work like that. You don't get it. I didn't get it. Excuse me. I didn't get it for the longest time. But it's basically impossible. It's not even something that like people have said, like, just go kiss her ring, da da da. Like, you don't understand. And also, I'm not really good at being inauthentic. I'm not. I'm not a good liar. I'm not good at being fake. It's really uncomfortable for me. So a lot of you guys have met and communicated with or met and communicated with have like similar either mothers or fathers or brothers. And in this case, it was my friend's brother. And she's like, it's kind of hardcore. I don't say this, but she said, my brother's fucking dead to me. And this, I'm just giving you something that might make you feel better. I literally like went through like a process of like, and I was like, wait a minute, are you telling me to have like a funeral in my house? I was kind of being playful. Are you telling me to have like a funeral for my sister? Not a real one, but one from me. Does that make sense? Because there comes a point, and for me, it was 13 years, that you just realize a person is not going to change. And it's very clear that all that they want to do is hurt you. So, oh, hey. Uh, and it's not maybe necessarily their cognizant intention, if that makes sense. Like, I'm pretty sure my sister's not really aware of a lot of stuff. My memory is on point, for better or worse. It's yeah, and it's the whole loss thing. So I might light a little candle later, have a little funeral, but you have to keep going. And more than this, you know, and again, when I can say more, I will. When you guys hear the full story, like um, everything, I think I'll be able to speak more confidently about resilience and strength and moving forward through anything. Um, and everyone has stuff. Everyone goes through stuff. It just doesn't have to be a family thing. I'm just specifically addressing, some stuff that some of you guys know about. And if you're new here or you have no idea what I'm talking about, in general, I'm just talking about dealing with difficult people and staying strong and staying in your power, knowing that you're right, knowing that you're speaking the truth. And if you're speaking the truth, you really can't get into trouble. I mean, that's not true. That is not a true statement. There's sometimes that the truth is not going to be super helpful. But for me, I've kind of had to. I've said this many times on this channel. The only thing that I will lie about, like if I have to, like, I'm not a good liar, but if I had to save a dog or a child and there was someone in the way, I would lie. I wouldn't have a problem with that, like on an ethical level. Thank you. I think we saw that one already. Okay, cool. Caught up. So in some, because I do feel like I am a little bit nervous about which words I want to say, and exactly what I want to say, I did want to just stand here and let you know that I got scared yesterday because I was threatened by someone in my family for something that makes absolutely 0 sense. I mean, here's the thing though, when you first get threatened about something, um, which is all ridiculous, there's a response, right? I mean, some of you guys are probably chill and you're like, "Pff, that person's threatening me, whatever." I'm not the kind of person that takes threats lightly, and very specifically from my sister, okay? But I had to spend the day and yesterday sort of figuring out yesterday was sort of like a mini panic attack, but, today and I was like, "I have to get the full story out or as much as I can." But today was more like trying to figure out the facts and move intelligently from there, okay? So, and I am pleased to say I'm not happy that my sister acts so ridiculous, in my opinion. This is my opinion towards me. Um, but it like when learned all the facts and educated myself about these threats, it was like ridiculous again. Okay. Um, but trying to silence someone because they're speaking the truth, I think is one of the more closer things to my heart, if that makes sense. I've been lied about a lot over the course of the last 13 years, mostly by my sister on global microphones, on Howard Stern, Joe Rogan, Mark Maron. Um, yeah, so that's something that is pretty wild to do to someone who's not a public figure, who is not even involved in your life most of the last 13 years besides taking care of our parents and stuff. So I don't know if there's things that people do because they need attention or a lot of other reasons. Back to the stages of grief. I think I went through those in the last like definitely like 5, 7 years, like because there became a point where it was like I can't care about this anymore. I felt like I had a because my sister wouldn't speak to me. I felt like I had a black question mark of shame on my heart, and, like, I didn't know why, none of it made sense, so I assumed not assumed, but more was just like, it must be me. Like, I must be a terrible person that, I don't even understand or see or whatever it is, like and so that's also a sad thing, but I'm not a victim. Um, I think that we get stronger from everything that we go through, including just me right now, I'm trying to be an example of strength. I hope that makes sense. But, for every reason I could have been scared, I could have been triggered to not wanna be on the internet anymore. Maybe the Dabbleverse warmed me up for this, right? I've thought about that a lot. Um, but yeah, mostly I'm here to be grateful because another thing about in my experience going through a lot of stuff and not just stuff with my sister is especially if you have faith and you believe in yourself and you don't give up, angels are everywhere, literally everywhere. I've been in the most impossible looking situations, and it would just be like people will just pop up, like they will find you, if that makes sense. But another thing is, this is my channel. The Twitter account is my Twitter account. There's nothing there that is a lie or is a there's nothing there that's a lie or that's not factual. Um, uh, and yeah, you can't threaten to take my voice away. Trying to silence somebody because you hurt them and you don't want people to know what you did to them is another level of like cruel and unusual that we'll talk about another time. Um, I don't know. Do you guys have any more questions? I definitely just wanted to pop on. I have to figure out a yoga spot. Like I have to figure out how like you guys can see my whole body tomorrow instead of doing it behind the desk like we did before. So that's something that I'm gonna work on tonight. Constantine, it's so funny. Sometimes I think you're this guy that called me and yelled at me, but I know that you're not him. It's so funny. Um, thank you. I feel like I'm not saying like I feel like I'm beating around the bush a lot right now. And if this is your first time watching a video of mine, I do apologize because I'm speaking very vaguely um, about a situation that's kind of happened in the last couple of days, or fired up, I guess, in the last couple of days. Um, but I'm not backing down. I got scared yesterday, right? But I'm not backing down for a lot of reasons. A lot of reasons. Um, and it's not just about money. My sister stole more than money from me. Money, if, as you guys know, isn't a huge. I mean, everyone wants to be comfortable and safe, right? But it's never been a like a big deal. No, I don't want to say a big deal. I mean, my boss's dad is very funny. He goes, "Money doesn't matter as long as you have it." So we all need like this, but just on the injustice and then and I will say this also in the last like month or so, it was always like justice about my mom, justice about my dad. I always thought that was the easiest way to do it, the most clear way to do it. And also just want to move on with my life, by the way. Move out of LA, go live in a normal place, get a house that has a backyard for my dog, everything that you know. Uh so just in the last month, am I like justice for Ashley? I mean, the girl put me in an unlicensed rehab center. It's called false imprisonment. I had so much trauma from this situation. I know it's not you, Constantine, because, well, first of all, if it was you, it would be so crazy. The last thing that guy wrote me, so he's like from Sonar Times, right? If you guys don't know what Sonar is, it's this cool thing that we're doing based on echolocation, and we're trying to figure out how to do it with humans. I mean, we are figuring it out. We have figured it out almost, right? Beep beep. Um, but Constantine, the last time that dude messaged me, and he was like a really nice guy. That's why, like, I feel like he has your vibe or something. The last time he messaged me, like, he was in LA. I want to say this was like a year ago. And he's like, "Yo, it's da 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 da. I'm in LA. Like, do you want to hang out?" And I think it was right after the fires. And I was like, "Yo, there's a lot going on. I don't know where you are regarding the fires, but there's a shit ton going on." I want to say mid end of January. And I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to meet up and have coffee or whatever. I'm just not sure how that's gonna go. There's a lot going on." The fires were January 7th of last year in LA. Um, and he writes to me, Constantine, you'll find this funny, and I think A Game Strong will too. He writes, "F you, F you. I I wait for no B." Am I allowed to say bitch? I can say bitch, right? "F you. I wait for no bitch. Something, something, something." I was just like, block that number. Um, but it's funny because it's like a Constantine kind of person. "Hi, unban Josh Denny fan. Unban Josh Denny fan. I love you. Team Josh Denny fan." Um, what's been going on with you guys? If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I really feel like this has been kind of a very random live. So do excuse my kind of biting my tongue and stuff. But I think I said what I needed to say. Basically, if somebody is doing something that's wrong to you, if somebody has hurt you or hurt your family, or um, I'm not going to name things right now. So I'm going to, like my dad used to say, "Ashley, keep your cards closer to the vest." I've never been good at doing that, but I'm trying to do that now. If somebody's not being appropriate, or somebody wants you to be quiet, or you feel like, and this is more important, like you feel like you're in a less powerful position than that person, keep going and just trust and believe people will show up. um, like me. What about Red Bar? Uh, and I wrote Mike and Jules last week, like after I was starting to feel better. No, maybe before I got sick. I just had a cold. I don't know. They were talking about radiation fog in LA. I was like, what the fuck is radiation fog? It still doesn't make any sense to me. But a lot of people in LA have had like this weird cough, but thankfully we're good. I wrote Mike and Jules like a week and a half ago. I was like, hey, just checking in, not like annoying you for a show, just checking in, seeing if you guys are all right. Like seeing, hopefully they're just happy and chilling. But I have no idea if a show is coming up or not. Uh, I miss them though, right? Who is it? I did a Red Bar World, shout out to Red Bar World interview last week. And who was there? Red Bar Rewind. That's who was there. And he's like, oh, don't worry, guys. He's just gearing up for the amazing Christmas show. So I hope that's true. We'll see. We'll see. So being resilient, not being afraid of bullies. Having like a strong support network. I don't have a lot of friends, but the friends that I have are very close, you know? And I want a lot of friends, by the way. I really appreciate the handful of y'all that are my friends. Um, what else was I gonna say? Yeah, just keep going, especially if there's something in your heart, in your gut that's like speaking to you. Because even though it's scary, even though things can feel impossible, I promise you a way will be made. Something will happen. I promise. Um, I can't wait to tell you guys the full story of all of this because I think it'll make a lot of sense about like a lot of my quirky behavior in general. But it might be helpful. I used to say, remember, I don't know if anyone remembers this, but when I first started making YouTube videos where I was speaking, which was directly related to like literally, it wasn't like hearing my dad's voice. He's in heaven. But I was teaching yoga. It was COVID time, and I just felt my dad. And that's a better way to say it. I felt him say, "Speak, start speaking, start speaking." Because at that time it was like even more of a what's the word I'm looking for? Even more of an impossible sort of feeling situation, if that makes sense. Um, and I had 40 subscribers on this channel or something. So another thing is this that's important. If you're going through stuff that's difficult, whatever it is, your sister, your mother, your brother, your boyfriend, whatever it is, life, work, um, it gets very difficult to stay calm. And I feel like that's a very valid feeling. Like when somebody's wronged you and then on top of that, maybe you're struggling or something goes sideways, it feels so unjust that you like, for me, I've experienced this a lot. Screaming into pillows is a thing. Um, but you just feel like defeated or like it's very hard to stay calm. And then all of a sudden we become the crazy ones. Okay. So be very careful with that. I'm not giving you advice. I'm saying for me and my experience, and a lot of you guys have seen me go, DEFCON 1, DEFCON 2, whatever. I get upset quickly and I'll get scrappy fast. But it definitely benefits me to take a step back and be calm. As difficult as it is in some situations, staying calm is maybe one of the most important things, especially when communicating with other people. Like when a lot of this stuff happened, and I was very upset after my dad's death, obviously, but not just because of the loss of my father, but the way everything went down, and especially the things that happened after. Um, I would just scream and like cry. And I had great friends that are still my friends. Thank God for them. But I just remember one of my friends Dan was just like, I was like, this and this and this and this and this. He's like, Ashley, can you just give me the story in a linear version? I think I yelled back. Like I didn't. Yeah, I probably did. Yeah, or at least had a tone of voice. I'm like, you know what? Life is not linear, but people need to understand. Like there would be people that want to be there and care about you, or want to be on your side, but they need to understand, and so you have to calmly explain it instead of screaming and da 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 da. Da. So I've learned that lesson the hard way. Um, Cynthia, I love you so much, Cynthia. Uh, I love you endlessly and incessantly. Cynthia used to babysit my sister and myself. Cynthia, I haven't even updated you on the everything, but I love you, I love you, I love you, and happy holidays. Um, I'll definitely text you the scoop. So yeah, a lot of you guys know that this has been going on for a really long time, and it's really sad. But in my opinion, I think my sister expected me to die or go crazy. And for all intents and purposes, that probably should have happened. Thank God it didn't. But I think there was also something in me that knew I had to stay clear and on point. And again, another reason why my word has had to be my bond. Um, I don't even know if it's appropriate I'm saying it that way, Cynthia. Is it? My word is my bond. Sounds like something dramatic my dad would say, but I think it makes sense. What I'm saying is that I haven't had the luxury of being able to lie. Not that I'm a liar anyway, but I have had to be very careful about because I was in a lot of very vulnerable situations. So I had to be very careful about people trusting me, gaining people's trust and stuff like that. And you just don't gain people's trust by lying. Also, when you lie, you have to remember all the lies. So there's that too. Um, okay, I'm here for a short time, not a long time, but I missed you guys and I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. Shucks. Shucks, I'm late. Shucks. Um, I think I was late, to be fair, or early. Doesn't really matter, does it? Happy holidays. Hey, Helgi. Helgi, I know your handle and I think you're a really cool person from what I feel like I know. Um, again, yoga tomorrow with the one and only David Sarah, 10 a.m. My time, LA time, 1 p.m. Eastern Coast. Ashley, did you listen to any TLC growing up? TLC, like the band? Wait, is that the one that go, I get so weak in my knees, I can hardly speak? That one? Yeah. Adeptus. Dave Sarah. Don't even say that. That's very rude, Dave, quite frankly. We were supposed to be doing park yoga. You bailed on that. And then never mind. Dave and I will be here tomorrow at 10 a.m. our time. I mean, we'll be on the computer. Maybe next time we can do the park. Oh, right. That is TLC, I think. Yeah, they're dope. I love TLC. Who else? Destiny's Child. I think Beyonce left from them, right? Yeah, I'm into all that kind of old school stuff. I still listen to that kind of stuff. Well, Dave, there's something important I have to tell you. You're still here. I really need you to wear those yoga pants. I need you to find them, the ones that say love on the back, or just any very tight yoga pants. I think it will help me see the definition and how your body's moving. I also think people will enjoy it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Check out Dave Sarah. Go follow him on his channel, and check him out tomorrow, Killing It in Yoga. I'm not going to do it right now. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. There's a lot of weird comments about yoga. which is not surprising. And it's one reason I don't really tell people I'm a yoga teacher anymore. Yoga just got so ridiculous. But there is one thing I want to drive home. I come from a very old school lineage of teachers. It goes back to a guy called Patanjali. Okay. He wrote the Yoga Sutras. When Lululemon came out and billions of dollars are being made on yoga pants that we'll see Dave Sarah modeling tomorrow, and this whole love and light thing about yoga, it's very misunderstood. Real yogis are not nice. Okay. The whole love and light thing is like a Lululemon brand thing, and they were very successful. But yogis are not nice. Yogis are strong. And again, I wouldn't call myself a yogi. I mean, all my emails are like Ashley LA Yogini, like Yogini is a thing. But don't make a mistake about this. And this is one of my favorite things when it's another thing that happened. You guys might not know this, bet you don't. Women weren't even allowed to practice yoga. It was designed for men. Women were not allowed until Indra Devi in Russian, very persistent, went to Krishnamacharya, who was teaching in Mysore, India, mostly 12-year-old boys, mostly Ashtanga. And she said, please teach me. And he goes, no, no way. You're a woman. This is in the 40s, maybe late 30s. So she flies back to Russia. She's bummed out. I think her dad was very, like if, I don't know, imagine him, he was an oligarch. We can look it up. And then she said, no, I'm going back. I'm going back to India. I'm going to make him teach me. She flies back to India and she became his first female student. Krishnamacharya is an important name. And then she's the one that came to Hollywood and taught Marilyn Monroe and all these other people. Yeah, you better get to bed. We have some work to do tomorrow. And all these other people, and really kind of brought yoga in a lot of ways to the Western part of the world, like to, US first and then Western Europe, things like this. But before she stood up to him and basically forced him, Russians can be very persuasive, right? I love my Russians. Before she basically forced him to teach her yoga, women were not allowed to practice it. This was a men's sport, if you will. And so thank you, Indra Devi, for that. But one of my favorite things is seeing guys come to a yoga class. They're like, oh, we're just stretching out. What are you girls doing in here? Or like they're just coming to look at girls in like tight yoga pants, whatever the case may be. And you just see them within the first like 5-10 minutes, like what's going on? It's not, I mean, especially the yoga that I teach, like power yoga comes from Ashtanga. Basically, it's just not forcing bodies into inaccessible poses that were designed for 12-year-old Indian boys and letting the poses work for the body that you're working for. So, yeah, the thing is though, yoga's been around for 3,000 years. It's going to go through phases. It's going to go up and down. And right now it's kind of in like a whatever phase, but the whole idea that people have about like love and light. First of all, love and light is a whole. When I hear someone say that, I just feel like like you got stuck in some program. There would be teachers that would write to me, "Okay, Ashley, love and light," and I'd be like, "Oof, that's kind of a red flag for me." Namaste, which I'll end with, unless you guys don't know what it means. Uh, the light that is in with the light in me is the light in me honors and respects the light in you, and that light is the same. Damn, you're so funny, Adeptus. I love you. Yogi Bear was a great teacher, was he? I thought Yogi Bear was a cartoon character. All right, guys, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and thank you for being here. Never stop. How's that song go? Never stop never stop breathing. Never stop believing. It's a different song. And also my tone deaf will come out. Gnosticism? Isn't Gnosticism affiliated with I'm not gonna even speak about it because I'm ignorant, meaning lacking knowledge. Merry Christmas, guys. Have an amazing, amazing time. Whether you're chilling with your friends and your family or you're by yourself, know that you're never alone because you're always with yourself. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.